Hey folks! Technically, this is a very special episode of Baywatch, but unlike some more cynical Emmy attempts we've seen, I actually think this was a pretty progressive story made with mostly good intentions. As usual, there's an A plot and a B plot, and those two things don't go together at all, but mostly I'm giving credit to the story focusing on accessibility. It's important to know that this episode was written by screenwriter Evan Sommers, who himself was disabled and wrote many stories focusing on that representation. He didn't have a long list of credits, but he notably wrote for Deep Space Nine and Voyager and made the award-winning documentary The Seeker. And today, the Media Access Awards gives the Evan Sommers Memorial Award to screenwriters who present realistic depictions of disabled people. So he's a pretty big deal in that community. And considering the plot specifically has to do with wheelchair access, and Sommers himself started his screenwriting career unable to even get into the building he was hired at, this is something that was very personal as well. I should also mention the character this focuses on, Jess Fortuna, was played by comedian Chris Fonseca, who has cerebral palsy. The fact they cast someone who actually uses a wheelchair and someone with a more obvious disability is not always the case on every show, and certainly not on Baywatch, so I think that deserves credit. This is Fonseca's sole acting job, but he's had a pretty successful stand-up career and is still working today. While slightly politically incorrect, he is really funny, and it's worth checking out his material. The other plot, I'm not sure if it's A or B, involves a woman with amnesia whose father is a Vietnam vet and can charitably be called boring. Anyway, let's Baywatch! Oh my gosh, is that driver played by the Ted Meehouse from the show's transportation department? Whoa! So CJ is being harassed by some beefy guy who can't take a hint when comedian Jess Fortuna, who's just arrived on the beach, decides to defuse the situation with a good old-fashioned beach brawl.
Adios, goober.
Adios, goober! The language on this show sometimes. So CJ thanks Jess for the help, who asks how he can get to the water. Unfortunately, CJ explains, they don't have the budget to build in beach access here. CJ would love to help, but whoops, rescue calls! Oh come on, she doesn't even go on that rescue, it's Mitch and Caroline. The next time we see CJ, she's just rollerblading. I had important things to do on No Bra Day. Also, as of this episode, and this episode only, Cody works at a bike shop, I guess?
I'm building myself a custom beach bike.
Bet you thought I was too dumb to ride with the training wheels off. Well, think again.
Cody has an injured wrist after off-screen protecting Caroline from some biker guy, because apparently beach creeps are just crawling out of the woodwork this episode. CJ wonders if Cody was jealous of Caroline hanging out with a biker guy, because she's already forgotten her own harassment from 5 minutes ago. Cody doesn't seem terribly concerned about this injury affecting his chances of going to the Olympics. Yeah, you totally forgot about that Olympics thing, didn't ya? Well, so did Season 6. Behold, Cody's custom beach bike!
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the car designed for the average man, the Homer.
I didn't know you could build things.
You always came off super dumb.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Believe it or not, Cody being able to build things is actually a major plot point next season. Yes, really. Meanwhile, amnesia.
Wait, please wait! Hey Mitch, I'm over that stalking and kidnapping situation, and I'm totally unaffected by a biker guy hitting on me to the point Cody had to violently intervene. Anyway, Amnesia Chick wants to see you.
I'm supposed to meet Ryan and Garner at night.
Is that show still on?
Yes, season 1 of 11.
Caroline and Mitch visit Twee, the amnesia woman in question. She actually only has partial amnesia about recent events, so I mean, is it even really amnesia?
Boo! This is the worst amnesia I've ever seen.
Well, you're a lifeguard and a PI. I'll just give her personal belongings to you and hope you make the best of it.
I am telling you, I am as good a detective as Ryan.
Please! Let me out!
Following the dog tags Twee had on her, Mitch finds Kendall Larson, who he believes to be her long-lost father. But he can't be her father, man. He's got too much baggage from the war.
Come on, people now. Smile on your brother.
Well, that's enough of that. Hey, look, he accepts her.
Why was that war so different? My history teacher told me it tore the country in half.
Because we were fighting 2 wars at the same time.
Yeah, okay, Baywatch, I don't think we're gonna be learning about the Vietnam War through Mitch and Hobie Buchanan, thank you! Meanwhile, sexual harassment, don't like that. Well, how about Jess handcuffing CJ to him? Okay, this episode might have some issues. But unlike beefy McSexpest, Jess is doing this to protest the lack of accessibility, which is something one single lifeguard can fix. CJ makes sure to sternly tell him that holding her hostage isn't the way to do this.
Thank you, guys. Jess, I promise I'm gonna do everything I can.
Despite being offered multiple options, ranging from going to a separate beach that has ramps, lifeguards carrying him to the water, or Cody giving him a ride in the back of his truck, Jess refuses on the principle that if everybody doesn't have access, nobody has access. On the other hand, he's only in town for like 2 days, and that kinda seems like not enough time to even build anything, but okay.
Boo, I'm a ghost!
I think it's obvious what needs to be done now. Sexy wheelchair welding montage. I mean, it's good Cody is wearing a tiny crop top jacket for protection. I never knew I needed a montage like this in my life, but I absolutely did. Somehow, the inspirational wheelchair montage has turned into G-rated porn. I do find it interesting that part of Evan Summers' documentary, The Seeker, features a motorcycle he modified to use while in a wheelchair. I wonder if there's a connection there. When in doubt, invent a cool thing. Anyway, here it is! They can't provide access to every beach, but they do have a souped-up wheelchair to let one person at a time use on this one beach that is no way practical or the solution he was looking for, and the day is saved!
Come on, Jess! Yeah!
I was supposed to look like I was having fun, Fonseca told the Los Angeles Times in 1996, and I guess that's where I did the real acting. Next time on Baywatch Nights, Garner finally gets an episode about him! A man he put behind bars is out for the kill. Presumably, Mitch will make this about him again. Garner-tastic!